Thank you so much. That was awesome. So, hello, my name is Joon. I'm from Atlas Lens Co. I'm the executive assistant to our CEO, Dan Keynes. He was unfortunately unable to make this year Camerimage, but I am his direct assistant that is able to kind of be the technical consultant for anything Atlas related, or even any camera environment related things. And so compared to Dan, who is the CEO of the company, who is a lens maker, cinematographer, innovator, you can kind of see it over there. Before Atlas, he created Paralinks, the first commercially available zero latency video transmission, but he also is a cinematographer, he was a gaffer, a DIT, and he has that much experience in the film industry. Comparing that to me, I'm just a guy. I spin the funny wheel, aka the focus wheel, but I graduated from Rochester Institute of Technology, the home of Kodak, back in 2023, and I'm still starting out in industry, but kind of ended up somehow here presenting a Camerimage already. But that's me with the recorder. Anyway, if you feel free to scan that, I'll pull that up later again if you would like to connect. So we're going to be obviously talking about the Kaizen 65 lenses, and as much as we love to talk about our products, I think it's still important to kind of cover the history behind cinema, and also how we should start kind of nerding out. We're all here to talk about cinematography. So one of our favorite films, of course, anamorphic films, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Who is a fan of the Raiders of the Lost Ark? Raise your hand. Yeah. Of course, by Douglas, using the fantastic Panavision C series that inspired all of us to become amazing cinematographers. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, again using the Panavision C series, we're going to start to see a little bit of a trend where we love that look that kind of brings the audience together in traditional storytelling, where that really wide aspect ratio of anamorphic lenses, the interestingly vertically squeezed background blurry elements, where it kind of emulates the human vision almost, because not everyone has a perfect iris. Everyone has a different shape, and everyone has different astigmatism. Everyone has different vision. So it kind of emulates. In my personal opinion, it's actually the closest thing to an organic image that can be produced in cameras. This is my boss's favorite film, Punch Drunk Love, obviously. Panavision C series once again, and this is actually one of the films that was the primary inspiration behind the company of Atlas Lens Co. And the super present blue streak flares, and the barrel distortion. It's not really visible in this specific screenshot, but the barrel distortion, and the way the image is twisted in a way that it kind of distorts how the world can be told in a storytelling fashion. And we're gonna get into some of the modern times, where Babylon, now we're getting into it with the Atlas Orion series. The Atlas Orion series were directly inspired by the Panavision C series. And this was kind of the film that kind of proved itself that it belongs in the Hollywood industry as well. And not only is it basically understood by the big names, but also still being accessible to everyone who is any indie cinematographer. One of my personal favorite films, Everything Ever All at Once. It's kind of cheating because they used a billion different lenses, but they also used the Atlas Orion series over there. And we also had Larkin last year during our Q&A panel. That was amazing as well. Of course, Honora. Honora is actually advertised and marketed with the Loma round fronts, and that's true because yeah, it's cool that they used Russian lenses for the Russian film and all that, but we actually found out that a good majority of the film was actually shot on Atlas Orion series, and they used it because it's a workhorse of a lens, because the Loma round fronts are amazing and all that, but they don't really do well in low light conditions and all that. So this frame, for example, was the Orion 50mm. You can kind of see with the diamond-shaped bokeh in the background a little bit, and literally the poster shot was the 28mm, I believe. So a good majority of that film was actually an Atlas film. Before we get into that, any other favorite anamorphic films that people want to quickly shout? Empire Strikes Back, that's a good one. Any other film? Or hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Everyone's very tired today. It's all good. Good party night yesterday. Yeah, everyone's wasted. But I mean, to summarize everything, we basically can kind of agree that anamorphic is now the native language of cinema because it came from history because of technical needs. I'm not going to get into too much of the history for today, but we can all agree that like the anamorphic technical limitations and character kind of translated into the native language of what everyone knows as cinema. So like over the 50 years, a tremendous amount of anamorphic films. Even some videos are starting to pop up that use anamorphic lenses and all that. So it defined that look that everyone sees as cinema or whatever, right? And also cinematographers want to stand out nowadays with the technical imperfections that come from these lenses are kind of have that, everyone knows that as like the tool marks of like, oh, like this is the look of and vision of the cinematographer individually, and it's an interesting way to actually stand out in the field in a very, very saturated cinematography world out there nowadays. But again, I'm not going to go into too much detail of this history, but the very, very brief version, Cinerama was used to kind of prove that people wanted to watch films that were very immersive. So back then, they literally used, in the production side, 3 lenses side by side to capture the film. And then on the projection side, literally 3 projectors in synchronous projecting it all at once so that it surrounds the audience so that it's a very immersive experience. And this was very expensive, but it proved that people were very interested in that immersive experience. So a lot of iterations later, boom, CinemaScope was created, and where now it's just one lens with one projector and a very happy cinematographer that doesn't have to deal with 3 different lenses and projectors, right? So back in the film days, it's literally a 35 millimeter classic format that's literally squeezing that more field of view onto the format, and on the projector side of things, it uses the anamorphic element to de-squeeze that back, which is how that classic aspect ratio was born. And yeah, as I mentioned, it's basically the two fields of view in any given lens. It literally fits more story, like literally. So it's a way for cinematographers to I don't know, like represent their vision in a very specific way. Like again, going back to the whole very organic image, right? So, but I also want to talk about the history behind this formats, where the origin of IMAX actually comes from this film called Tiger Child, where it premiered at the Fuji Group Pavilion, where it was literally first known as I think it was called Image Maximum, which is where the name IMAX kind of comes from. And this also proves immersion in a different way, where instead of immersion in the sense of surrounding the image, this proved that it's also immersive to make the image a lot taller and with a larger format of a film. And we were watching it earlier, but let me attempt to play it. Nah. It's not going to let me play it. That's so crazy. I can play it later, like separately, but this is I don't understand Japanese, but it seems to be a cool little documentary. I would love to get this automatically translated with subtitles or something. But anyway, to kind of combine it all, like Atlas, we came in. We were founded back in 2016 by our co-founder Forrest Schultz and Dan Keynes to create affordable, high-performance anamorphic cinema lenses, and we started to build lenses literally in a garage, where literally bashing all the different elements like in a rail system to experiment with how the elements like play with each other and all that. Dan experimented with projection lenses to see how they can use the anamorphic projection lens that de-squeeze the image back out to the projector, literally using that as a camera lens, putting it in front of a spherical lens to see if that achieves the same look and all that. But these are super early days of Atlas. And here we are now. So Kaizen 65 are the lenses that we are showcasing here at the Fujifilm I like to call it the mystery shack in here. It's so cool. It's such a cool area where Kaizen 65, the name Kaizen comes from the definition of continuous improvement, where little by little, every day, we like to improve on the products that we develop. For example, the Orions that we first came out with and the Mercury series that we recently came out with. And our next iteration of the Mercury series is basically turning into something like the Kaizen 65 lenses, where now we're covering the full height of the new Eterna 55 large format. And we wanted to explore the capabilities of taking advantage of the tall sensors, because compared to other 65 millimeter digital sensors out there, this is the very unique format in the sense that it's taller rather than wider. So we can take advantage of the extra height and use that to de-squeeze that back into a traditional, with a 1.5 de-squeeze, a 2x1 deliverable with a full open gate coverage of 4x3. So let me see if I have anything else. Yeah, we believe in accessibility. We believe in making cinematography more interesting. And when Fujifilm reached out to us to collaborate in making this new format, we gladly accepted, and we believe in this new iteration of cinematography. But also, we want to invite everyone else as well, where we're still developing this, we're still working on it, and we want to build the future with each and everyone. So this QR code leads to a form that people can sign up for not only more information for our lenses, but also we want to open up the conversation for everyone, not only through the forum, but also here, where what would you like to see? Like any lenses that we want to develop, how can we push the new format in a different way? Would you like us to keep pushing the 1.5? Would you like to see 2.0 instead? Or many, like, we want to hear from you, and it's an open invitation. Kaizen definitely represents the open invitation of, we want the cinematographers to have a voice in developing this product, constantly improving, constantly iterating, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have. The last slide is just thank you with the same QR code, but I want to open up the conversation, so thank you so much. And we also have sample images at the end, and we can show the actual footage in just a moment.
Last year you showed the prototype of the Gemini, yeah?
Last year,
Something different.
yeah, so last year, so to repeat what he was asking, last year during Camerimage, our co-founder Forrest and Scott DeWald showcased a very, very, very early prototype of Gemini. That product focus definitely shifted a little bit, so that's currently on hiatus right now. We wanted to focus on something, we wanted to support a format that was coming up very, very soon with Fujifilm, and that is still on hold. We'll see where that goes, but for now, this is a brand new format a brand new category of lenses. But yeah.
How many lenses you got planned for this one?
Yeah, so we currently have 5 lenses total, 30, 35, 40 millimeter 50, 75, 100. Okay. They're all T2.5, and we're actually using the LPL mount so that the rear element is actually covered, the size covers the full height, so that the elements and the image projection is like working in the best way, rather than kind of making it not parallel to the image plane, so that the image is actually, the quality is actually like not affected, basically. So, but I would like to maybe put this video up, so let's see if it's possible. Wow. Bro, please.
This video will
Thank
be
you so much.
available on the website?
It will be, yes. Yep, yes.
So are they just expanded Mercuries, or is there something?
So we are using Mercury components for the sake of prototyping fast, but no, the elements themselves are brand new, and the lens design and obviously the shroud is all brand new. So.
And what are the T-stops?
T-stops is 1.5. Mm-hmm.
2.5.
Or sorry, T2.5. Sorry. D squeeze is 1.5, but the T stop is 2. My bad. I almost. I don't know what happened to my presentation, but hold on. Oh, there it is. But thank you. Any other questions or discussion points, or maybe even what you would like to see in a lens like this?
Basically, can we do some tests?
Absolutely, yes. We have all the lenses downstairs, and we have been having installed. Yeah, let's do it right now. So thank you everyone for your time, and I'll see you in downstairs. Thank you so much.